Hello, hi, namaste, and welcome to Vidhyaashram, the Temple of Excellence. I am Nandakishore, Faculty of English in Vidhyaashram, Mysuru. In my previous session, I had discussed about the topic articles. And in today's session, I am going to discuss about the topic prepositions. In my previous session, while discussing about articles, I spoke about three main articles and the rules to use articles in the sentences and how to fill in the blanks in your examination. And in today's session, we will see about prepositions and the rules of using prepositions to fill up the blanks or to score more marks in your examination. Let's start with prepositions. What are prepositions? First thing you need to know why preposition is important. Does it make sense while we are making or framing sentences to use prepositions? Or will a sentence be complete or meaningful without using prepositions? Why is it so important to learn about prepositions? Let's see in today's session. What are prepositions? Prepositions are the words which are used to connect the different nouns, pronouns, and phrases in a sentence. So these are linking words, or in simple words, preposition is a word which shows position between two objects or subjects. If you take up the word preposition, you can divide it as preposition. In simple, preposition is nothing but a sentence, or it could be a phrase, or it could be nouns or pronouns which shows the position of two objects or subjects or things in simple. Let me give you an example for that matter. I am holding three pens in my hand. If you can see, all the three pens are in different color. First is black, orange, and third one, let us call it a transparent golden color. I'm holding it in a parallel way. Yes? And preposition is when you are thinking or giving importance for one object at a time. It depends on where it is placed. For an example, if I am talking about orange pen, where is it placed? It is placed in between the black and the transparent pen. Where is the black pen situated now? Where is it placed? It is placed beside. Comparatively, I'm just holding two pens now. Compared to orange pen, this black pen is located beside, next to. If I place this, any of the pens, likewise, like this, okay, you can see we are throwing light or emphasizing black pen. So where is the black pen located? It is located in front of these two pens. If I place it here, we are not giving emphasis to these two pens. We are giving prominence. We are highlighting this pen. So where is it situated? It is located behind. If I place it just like this, it is located under or below. I'm only talking about black pen. So it depends on the object or the subject. Where is the object located? When you give prominence to black pen, it depends on where the object is placed, whether below, beside, on top, above, over, or in front. That's how it goes. And that's how you know that we are comparing two objects. Where is the object placed? Is it next to, before, under, below? I hope you are following it. I'm just making use of simple objects here. And I'm giving you the simplest example and simplest explanation to make you understand preposition. Now, let us move on. Here is a paragraph given. So, try to identify the words which are underlined and highlighted, which are in bold. If you can read this, you should be able to identify from which chapter this paragraph is taken. This is taken from the chapter Around the Medicinal Creeper, written by Purnachandra Tejaswi. A coffee seed bed has to be protected from the sun. ನಾನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ from ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕಾಫಿ ಸೀಡ್ ಬೆಡ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ from the sun. ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ? From the sun by putting. By is a preposition. ಹೇಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ? ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ? By putting up a shade over it. ಹೇಗೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ, ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ? ಕಾಫಿ ಸೀಡ್ ನ. ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿಂದ? ಸನ್ ಇಂದ. ಹೇಗೆ? ಬೈ ಪುಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ಅ ಶೇಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಇಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ? ಓವರ್ ಇಟ್, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ. ಓವರ್ ಇಟ್. ಒನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ವರ್ ಎರೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯಾಂಬೂ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ? ಫಾರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಎರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ? ಫಾರ್ ಸಚ್ ಅ ಶೇಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ನೀಡೆಡ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ with ಯಾವುದು? With ಯಾವುದು? With which we could tie the cane pieces placed across the frame. ಅದರ ಸುತ್ತ across the frame. So we sent Sanna to get some creepers from the forest. ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ? From where? To the forest. He brought a whole bundle. Mara opened the bundle, and while sifting, he suddenly looked at. Yelli nodidadna? Looked at one of the creepers and scolded Sanna. Hey, why did you pluck this, you fool? I hope you are following it. I am trying to speak both in English and giving you explanation in Kannada as well, so that it becomes very easy for you to follow what I am teaching today. Now let us see. There are few sentences given here. Identify prepositions in the following sentences and underline them. As you can see, there are few sentences given here. We are going to read them and identify the prepositions. Remember, there are plenty of prepositions available. I have just a simple task for you all. Just try to collect as many prepositions as you can. Take the help from internet, take the help from dictionary, take the help from any resource. But try to collect as many prepositions as you can, which will definitely help you to solve these kind of questions, and it will indeed help you to score more marks in your examination. Let's solve these questions now. He threw the ball across the court. Across, illinda akade, across. They drove along the road. Along road ina jotege, along the road. Come and sit next to me. Next to, ನನ್ನ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಕೂತ್ಕೋ. Please don't be angry with me. ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡ, ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೋಪಿತನಾಗಬೇಡ. Please don't be angry with me. Likewise, you can find plenty of examples. The best thing you can do is you can take up your textbook. It is a multitasking for you. Start reading the chapter line by line and word by word and try to identify the prepositions. It is going to help you to remember what you are going to read, and it will also help you to identify and underline the prepositions. So it is a dual task. You can just remember what you are going to read. Simultaneously, you can underline the prepositions. Next exercise. In your workbook, there are plenty of examples given, plenty of exercises given, but I have reduced the content. I have picked up which seems to be most important, and I'm trying to solve these questions. Fill in the blanks with appropriate prepositions from the brackets. So you can expect such questions in your first PUC final examination, and the final examination question paper comes from district level. So district officer will be setting up the question paper. We are not going to set up our individual question paper, and you can definitely expect one or two questions which seems to be the same in your final examination. So be careful while solving these questions. Revati, go and sit. There are two options. Out of two options, you're going to select the best one. Revati, go and sit beside and besides. Now, which is the right option here? Beside or besides? Before knowing which is the right option, you should know the meaning of both these words. What is the meaning of beside and what is the meaning of besides? They both look same, but they are not. Just a single S can make a lot of difference. It can be change in the tense, it can be change in the meaning as well. Beside is next to. I'm telling you again, beside is next to. Nana pakkadalli kootko. Besides is apart from. For example, if I am talking about besides, let me just give you an example. I am a very good teacher besides being a singer, or besides being an athlete, or besides being a very good citizen. Apart from it, apart from teaching, I am something else. So the right option is beside. Next to. Has the train through or from? Which is the right option? The right option is from. From Mysuru arrived. Has the train from Mysuru arrived? What is the meaning of through then? Has the train gone through the tunnel? Has it been derailed or has it passed through the tunnel? So there is a tunnel, it goes through, it enters and exits. Don't eat anything dash meals as it is bad for health. Is it in between or between? How different, or what is the difference you can see with just this one word, in between or between? The right answer is in between. While having your meal, you're not supposed to eat anything in between. There is a course of meal you are having in between. The process of going and in between. Don't break it. In between. Varun waited dash an hour for his sister at the bus stop. This is very tricky. Most of the students, they get confused whether to use for or since. Let me give you more example and more explanation to simplify it. Very first thing I tell my students that you should be thorough with tenses. You should be thorough with parts of speech. You should be thorough with articles. Why? Because these three concepts are considered three maxims or three rules or three mantras to learn basic English. If you're strong in all these three concepts, half of the English language is in your pocket. Let me tell you why I'm emphasizing on these three. Varun waited. Here, tenses is playing a key role. He waited. He is not waiting anymore. According to this sentence, according to the rule, the correct answer, Varun waited for an hour. For Then when do we use since? Let me just give you an example. For example, just take the same name, Varun. Varun is teaching since 2010. He is teaching since 2010. Even now he is teaching, and even further down the lane, maybe even after a few years, he would continue teaching. Since then, since 2010 he is teaching, even now he is teaching, later on he teaches, he continues teaching. Fifth one, Vidya is not afraid of OF and OFF. Here the correct answer is of. She is not afraid of anything. Then when do we use off? Get off. Off is to get off, get rid, getting ridden from something else, or to get off the vehicle, get off, right? To get out. Next one, correct the following sentences. There are few mistakes in each and every sentence, or there could be an error about preposition. Since we are talking about preposition, you can expect such question as well for 1 mark in your final examination. There will be 6 mark questions, A, B, C, D, E, F. So there will be 5 or 6, and the title goes like this: do as directed. After giving this sentence or the statement, within the bracket you can expect a question. Rewrite the sentence, find an error and rewrite the sentence. You have to find an error, correct it and rewrite it. The action should be complete, and the question says find an error, correct it and rewrite. You have to do it completely. It's not just you identify an error and write the same word there. No, you have to write the sentence, complete sentence. The first sentence, the shops in the city, remember it is plural. The shops in the city open on 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. The shops in the city, what is the error here? We are talking about preposition. The shops in the city open on, not on. On is error there. Open at 9 o'clock. As we go on in this session, I will explain where we use on, where we use at, where we use in. Second one, he lives at Mumbai. The error is at, it is not at, it is in. He lives in Mumbai. He cut an apple by a knife. The error is by, it is with. Yaudrinda? With a knife. It has been raining since 3 hours. I already told you, it has been raining since 3 hours. Has been raining. We are talking about present perfect tense. So, since. And with what word or which word do we replace this word? Since. It has been raining for 3 hours. But if we talk about years, we use since. Since then. Since 18 or since 1947, we Indians have progressed to the great heights. Since then, since 1947, after independence. Last one, distribute the mangoes between all the students. The error is between. Where do we use between? Between is used when we are talking about two objects. In between. Between, right? So, with what word do we replace this? The error is between. It is among. Among all the students, between is used only when there is two. The two objects or two students or two people. Now, in your workbook, you can find such diagrams or pictures. And we have just altered it. I'm going to solve this question. While solving this question, you can take up your workbook and you can simultaneously solve it by yourself. Look at these pictures. Below each of them, write the appropriate preposition of place given in brackets. I'm sure you can see there are multiple pictures. There are 8 pictures, and just on top of it, you can see a circle. Let us say it is a ball or something. There are options given here. We are going to fill in the options in the blanks. Now the question is, how to fill in the blanks? With what are we going to emphasize? The box, or are we going to throw light for the circle? As I told you, we are going to throw light on the circle or ball. Let's start solving it. So where is it placed? With compared to this box, there is just a small space. You can just open up your workbook and try to identify, is it placed above? Is it placed over? Let us see the options now. There is just a small gap there. Beside is not the right option. Below, no. Behind, under, on. On could be possible. Over is also possible. Above is also possible. So which of these three is the right answer? Above, above, up, above. The world so high. Up above is obviously the space should be too much. So is it on or over? On should be touching, because I have kept my books on the table. Let me just tell you, I have kept this pen on my hand. So there is no gap. So of course this should be over. Over on top. This is, the gap is too much. So of course we go with above. C, as I told you, there is no gap. It is on. D, we clearly know it is in front. The circle has come or placed in front of. So D is in front of. Let us see E. E is just, as I told you, next to. It is beside. It is beside. F, it could be below or under. This is under and this is below. Next one, you can see the circle is half seen and we consider it as behind. I hope it is clearly understood. Apart from this picture, apart from this exercise, there are a couple more examples you can see. You can solve it by yourself. Let's move on to the next one. This is very important. You can see the pyramid here, and as I told you before, we are going to talk about in, on and at. When do we use it? Where do we use it? There are exceptions. There are few rules you should master, you should remember. Refer to the picture given below and complete the sentences with at, on, in. It's okay, I have not taken up any examples here. I just want to discuss this complete pyramid, and this pyramid is known as Atenin time pyramid. This is a must. Most of us, even the native speakers, go wrong while using these three words. We regularly use these words while speaking in English. In, on and at, but we don't know the perfect rules where to use these three words. Let us discuss it in this session. The Atenin time pyramid. At, when do we use it? This is a clear line. So this falls For the bottom category, I've just drawn a line for the better understanding. At is used for hours. While we are speaking about hours, at 5 p.m., at 12 o'clock, I'm going to go to college at 8 a.m. At what a.m.? At 8 a.m. I'm going to go home at 8 p.m. 12 o'clock, 7 a.m. With respect to hours, we use at. When do we use on? With respect to days. On my birthday, on Tuesday, Friday, on days or particular date, May 7th, on May 7th, month, we are talking about month and days. On May 7th, which day? On May 7th, 1964, something happened. When we use in that case, we use in for weeks, months, years, decades, and centuries. Weeks, months, years, decades, and centuries. Don't forget, on is for days, only days, not the month. Though we are talking about month here, we are talking about the day. Which month and which day in particular? On May 7th, on August 15th, 1947. We are talking about all the three here. We are talking about month, we are talking about years, but we want to know the particular date. When did we get independence? Right? In is used, as I told you, for these 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'm going to go to USA in 2 weeks. I'm going to be a successful man. I'm going to be a successful teacher in 2 years. That's a long way. Let us say I'm going to be a successful teacher in 2 months. So 2 weeks, July, May, months, as I told you, year, and even the 80s. In the 80s, in the 20s. Don't forget, in the 80s, bell-bottom pant was very famous. In the 80s, I'm talking about a fashion which was very famous. There is an exception, there is a rule you need to know. What are these exceptions? In 5 minutes. We're talking about 5. We also use in while we're talking about minutes. I'm going to come back in 5 minutes. I'm going to be back in 5 minutes. In the morning, early in the morning, the birds chirp. Early in the morning, I love having a cup of coffee. In the afternoon, in the morning, in the evening, but when it comes to night, at night, we are going to use at. At night, I hear some noise. At night, dogs bark louder. I hope you're able to follow this pyramid, and these 3 words play a key role. It also plays a vital role. Without our conscience, we are using these words in a wrong way. The wrong usage of these 3 words are happening in daily conversation. Let us not make the mistake again. Which is the next one here? Fill in the blanks. Again, the options are given. We are going to choose the right answer and fill in the blanks. The elephant walked. The very first chapter, The Gentleman of the Jungle. The elephant walked dash the forest and saw the man's hut. The options are through, on, onto. The right answer would be walked through. It is walking through the forest. It cannot walk on or onto the forest. Clearly understood. Mr. Hyena ran, dashed the man's hut and howled for a place. The right answer would be Mr. Hyena ran into the man's hut. It is into. It is going inside. Into. It is not onto, on top of it, or over it. It cannot be. The third one, the ship sailed dash the world. Around, through, or over. Through, highly impossible. Over, not possible at all. So the answer is around. Round the world. The train went dash the tunnel. In, through, into. So the right answer is through. Keep one thing in mind, there are few complicated words, there are few preposition which seems the same. The meaning of the preposition seems same, but don't get confused. You need to find the most appropriate preposition and fill in the blanks. Next one, the suitcase fell dash the floor. Into, on, around. The suitcase fell on the floor. Into is inside, around is not possible, around is round. She broke her leg when she fell dash the stairs. Off, in, down. She fell off, possibilities are high. She fell in, no. She fell down the stairs, down. She is falling from the stairs. Fell, so the most suitable is down. The burglar made a mistake. Who is a burglar? A thief. The burglar made a mistake by running dash the policeman. Towards, under, onto. Very simple answer. Towards. Avana kadege. Towards the policeman. So the correct answer is towards. We have many examples like this. I have just taken one such paragraph, one such exercise from the workbook, and the couple of remaining exercise is for you to solve on your own. So this is a paragraph and there are options given here next to the blank. We are going to choose the right one and fill in the blanks. A little girl who had been, this is very important, this is one of the cutest example. A little girl who had been told that Lincoln was not very good looking was taken dash by or with, which is the right answer, was taken by her father. By whom? Yaru karkonodru. By her father to see the president at on the White House. It is at. Ellie at the White House. Lincoln chatted with her, with and for a while. Swalpa hottu, for a while, in his gentle, humorous way. Suddenly, the little girl called out, "Daddy, he is not ugly at all. He is just beautiful." The little girl thought that Abraham Lincoln, was not good looking at all. So, her daddy took the little kid to talk to Lincoln, and after speaking for a while with Lincoln, the little girl called out, "Daddy, he's not ugly at all. He's just beautiful." That's how good Lincoln was. So that's it for today's session. I hope I have given you plenty of examples on the topic prepositions. I have already told you in the beginning, I have already given you the task of collecting as many prepositions as you can. Take help from internet. In my next session, I am going to discuss about time and tense, the verb, third unit. That is very important unit from the examination point of view. Keep practicing prepositions, keep collecting more number of prepositions, keep identifying more number of prepositions whenever you are able to read any piece of paper. Let's meet in the next session with new topic. Until then, keep practicing. Have a good day.